Welcome back to Project Ozone 3 Kappa mode. Today, we're in the Twilight Forest again because we need to enable a couple of things just to help our exploration and to basically unlock other stuff like RFTools stuff. We'll get to that, but basically we'll get something like AE2. I've had a couple of commenters saying, hey, you should go for the storage scanner. And yes, I should. The problem with the storage scanner is a little bit in here. This machine base requires manganese oxide. Manganese oxide comes from manganese oxide dust, which comes from crushed rhodochrosite. And that comes from rhodochrosite, which it doesn't really tell you anything about how to get. You get it from basically getting redstone. You can see I've got some in my inventory. You basically go into a hollow hill over here in the Twilight Forest. And, well, if you're high enough, that is, you can then mine redstone. And that will give you a chance of getting rhodochrosite. Okay, that's one quick thing. There's not much really else in here that I really want right now, but it's available if I want it in the future. From there, what we're going to then do is head over to slime. We've got a slime island right nearby. If you're on the same seed as I am, then you'll have that as well. We're about, well, from where I got there, we've got right there. So it's right next to a hollow hill. There are plenty around, so you don't need to worry about anything specific. And just get yourself some cobblestone because we need to get up there. So yeah, I'm going to need to nerdball. 1 second. And here we are. The main thing I actually want this for is some congealed slime blocks, which is easy enough gathered. And you get blue and green ones. Quite bouncy. The other thing I want to take this for is for our slime trees over here. So if I get these congealed slime blocks, hopefully this is going to give me a sapling and not going to fall off the edge, but we'll see. Do I get any kind of saplings? Yes, I get purple slime saplings. We're going to take those back and ideally grow them. There we go. And you can see there's other slime blocks around and nice views of lich towers and all kinds of other stuff. The other thing I brought with me is, thank you for a commenter as well, who's saying overworld apples are kind of useful. Yes, if you make a nether cake, which I've skipped, I didn't make the nether cake, I make the overworld cake, I made the end cake. The nether cake, because I already had a portal I didn't need, but if you unlock that, you get a quest complete, which then gives you some overworld apples, but they are relatively easy to make. They're just a golden apple and some other bits and pieces, so nothing special there, which means you can get back from wherever you are. I'm just going to actually take more of these before I go. Get back from wherever you are, and then you can, yeah, carry on. We wanted the slime because I wanted slime boots, and that negates fall damage, I think. Slime boots. Regular slime boots, that is. Yes, so 2 congealed slime blocks, 2 slime balls, get you some slime boots. What we also want is the slime sling, okay? So that gets us around really quite easily on sort of any overworld. Don't use it in the void wherever you do. And in fact, I wouldn't recommend equipping slime boots in sort of void worlds either. You will bounce off the platform. They do negate fall damage, but they also cause bouncing, which is an advantage when you're traveling around. Not an advantage when you are trying to precisely move around. So let's get those done. So 1, 2, yeah. So there's the slime boots and then the slime sling, which you should be able to just get another piece of slime, slime ball, and there we go. So there's our slime sling. Good. They're good to get around, and particularly in the Twilight Forest, which I should mention I'm looking for. The reason why I want to get around fast is looking for swampy areas, because one of the things in the swampy areas are lily pads. Okay, so down here I've made a new area. I've moved our ground traps over. I'm not using them at the moment. I've got plenty of eggs. But over here I've got a second area, and I'll show you why I want the lily pads. So here we've got some regular cactus. Perfectly fine, straightforward. Over here, we've got agricraft. So you make yourself a seed analyzer. It's just wood and stuff. And then you put down 2 crop sticks like this. So shift right click to put down 2, or just right click to put down 1. You put down 1 initially right here. And then you put down whatever you want to actually enhance. So you put your seed in here. It comes back 1, 1, 1. In this case, I rebuilt it once. So it's saying 2, 2, 2 on that one. However, once you put it down, it's got all of these next to it like this. So if you imagine this is just a single one, it will just start spreading. Now, it's quite slow. That's the main reason why I want lily pads. It will get faster as it goes along, because by the time it gets to here, it's going to start improving. Every time it jumps one, it improves. You can't see because they're not analyzed, but it does actually improve. So I set this up It just runs backwards and forwards, compact, and you end up with something like 10, 10, 10 at the end. I'm going to leave them alone for now. Infurium seeds is one of the things I want 10, 10, 10, so yeah, I'm just going to use that as an example. So over here, you may wonder why I've got this large area, and it's not easy to... Actually, in fact, hang on. Was there an animal in here? There is an animal here. Not for much longer. Yes, animals spawn here, passive animals. So as you're walking around, even if you walk away from your base, because it's quite a chunk loader, fluid cows will spawn in here. That's the main reason for this. So in here, I've been making soul vials and capturing said fluid cows because they happen to have a lot of advantages. You have molten electrical steel being able to be milked straight from a fluid cow, or mushroom stew, or molten invar, liquid corallium. You can imagine there's quite a few bits and pieces in here that we'd kind of like. One of them being like molten iridium, so that's kind of nice. Molten lumium is kind of nice. Tectonic petrothium, lava, lumium, that's also kind of useful. Grassoline, I think we need at some point for something. So yeah, all of these things you can get. They're random, however, so you can't rely on particular ones. So we need to carry on and get on with some other stuff. So the next thing I thought, well, we should probably get, or we're limited by, ferroboron. Ferroboron is needed for tough alloy, which is needed for the stuff we're about to get into, to get to the deep dark and other stuff like that. Unfortunately, the boron part, if we just go into here, the boron part comes from boron ore, and that used to be in Landia, and Landia is no longer in the pack. So that's a bit of a problem. I couldn't find any in Twilight Forest. I did look. Didn't see, and it's not very easy to see. It's a dark grey. The other thing that you might think is, hey, you can just get it through lasers. Unfortunately, you need ferroboron to make lasers. So that's a bit of a loop. So in the meantime, I then went away and thought I would be smart by doing this arrangement with skeleton skulls, putting 2 diamond blocks down, a bed on top, and then right-clicking, shift right-clicking, and going to the lost cities. That doesn't work. It doesn't work in this pack because, well, basically, that's not the portal in this pack. The portal is using ore crystals instead of... I thought I made a bed somewhere. Let me just make another one, just in case. So 3, 3, and then we'll just make one. Okay. So you don't make it using diamond blocks. You make it using ore crystal blocks. That are these block of lava crystal. They come from... Sorry, I say ore crystal, but these come from lava crystals, which come from all lava crystals. All lava crystals are just in the nether. They're in, you know where the magma blocks is with the lava at the bottom of the nether? You can see it from a mile away. In there is all lava crystals. So just go and harvest a couple of those and convert them over, and you should get these. So with that done, that should be the portal to the Lost Cities. I just want to clear out my inventory first, and we'll see what's over there. My inventory cleaned up. Let's just see if we can move. New spawn point has been set. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. Is it with right click, shift right click? It's one of those two. This isn't working. It is in the quest book. I promise. Quests is down here in Lambda. Lost Cities dimension needed 2 blocks of crystal. Oh, wait, it's just delayed. Okay. So it did work. It just took a little bit of time. So yeah, 2 lava crystal blocks with a bed on top with skeletons around them. It gets you over to the Lost Cities. So importantly for this is not the Lost Cities themselves, although they do have lots of chests in the various buildings. Of course, lots of mobs in there as well, but it's also an overworld dimension which should have full depth, but also full ore generation. So I should just be able to head down and then, ooh, is that even lithium right there? It might not be, it might be something else. But you should be able to head down there and get some other stuff, including we've got squid over here as well. So this is like a true overworld. Now, if you're not playing on a void world, you may just be laughing at this and thinking that there's no need for it. Cool, for you, you're probably fine. It's probably something you can find. However, for me, I'm going to need to do this the old-fashioned way. So yeah, I'm off to go and explore for a little while to try and find some lithium, which is needed, and some boron also needed. You do get some lithium from processing boron, but yeah, we want both of them. Don't forget to get some of this green slimy dirt as well, so you can grow this in a hopping bonsai pot from the island. And then now we just need to basically crush up some of this stuff. So let's just get, I don't know, 4 of it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Converts into crushed rhodochrosite. I have problems with that word. And that's going to be easy enough to then just smelt. So just shove it in here. This is much faster now, by the way. Don't put glowstone on these. You want them to take things one at a time, not stacks at a time. Just so that if you put in one stack, if you take them one at a time, it'll immediately drop down into these endless furnaces, which is just ender pearls wrapped around the previous furnace. So these are really quite fast now, to the point that they can keep up with the farm. And also, I did upgrade this. Everything is now diamond meshes, which is great. And also, thanks for a commenter who did say that the advanced item collector is much faster. Yes, it is. And also, more importantly, you can control the Y direction, so you can control where it picks up from. So very happy there. And you can see, let's just enable this so you can see how fast it's processing stuff now. Whoops. Oops, if I get up the stairs. So there it is, and they're gone. There it is, and they're gone. So yeah, that's going to work perfectly fine. So yes, now I can start using diamonds for other purposes than upgrading meshes, which should actually help. Right, so from here then, we should have in here some sort of crushed... there we are. Yeah, so we have manganese oxide dust. And is that just then smelted again? It is just smelted again. Fine, so put it back through, and we should get the manganese oxide. Ooh, what's in there? That's just the stuff we've... yeah, I just turned on by turning on the sifters. Fine, that's okay, and that's already done. So that's how fast they are, and this is cool. So now we can use those to make a machine base. I'll go make the rest off camera because, hey, why bother showing you obvious steps? Okay, so bits and pieces made. We're going to make a storage tablet, so we need a block of quartz first of all, and other bits and pieces should be fine. So that's everything there. It's one storage tablet. We now have also everything we need, including the electrical ingot. You need means to make that in this workbench. So do be aware, don't try using a regular one. It doesn't work. And everything else is stuff we've already made. So storage scanner. I'm going to get some power for that. So I'll put some power down to our regular system. And you can see that is powering up right now. So yep, that's good. All routable. Good. So storage scanner we should be able to use to basically access this entire system. We'll see in a second. Can tell it says no storage module. Okay, I need a storage module. Storage control screen module, I'm gonna guess. Which is very straightforward as long as I can use you. Ink sacs you can get from your drops from your mob farm, so that's pretty straightforward. And a couple of redstone, a piece of iron, and what was the last thing? Crafting bench, as you might imagine. Okay, and all of you. Yep. Okay, now can I actually put you in here? Is this an inventory? How do I actually put this in here then? Sneak right click on a storage scanner to set the target for the storage module. Okay, that. Good. Fine. Monitoring that. 9 different items through a storage scanner. Okay. Combine with the tablet for remote access. So combine with the tablet. Yep. And not enough energy to open the contents. Do I need to charge this? Probably do. Let's go and try shove it in the charger along with everything else that we put out here. And yes, it's charging. At least it accepts it. Yep. There we go. So we have access to the storage scanner. I'm going to charge that up and then let's see if we can use it. Okay, so in the main storage scanner interface, not the tablet now, we should be able to set a radius of this. So radius maybe, I don't know, 7? Yeah, press scan. And oh look, we have basic drawers. That's not exactly what I want though. I don't want to scan to see that there are basic drawers. I want to see the contents of said basic drawers themselves. So that's not quite what I was looking for. So quickly then, on the list, if you set the drawer controller as routable, or routable, depending on where you're from, you then should be able to see its inventory on the right-hand side. And also I can set these other ones as routable as well. And then just select all routable to be able to see everything there that I can then search for. So Blaze, for example, I can see everything in my system. Kind of cool. I can also do that remotely, so I can't scan, but I can then still see all of said Blaze. And yep, that is pretty perfect, to be honest. I very much like the ability to get to the stuff whenever I want. Can I dump stuff back into the system, though? So if I shift-click, yes, it doesn't export the first routable container. So what we may want to do is either set the drawer controller top, and then we also want all of these, if possible, set that to top as well. Top, just so it's easy to arrange them. Okay, and then up at the top, we'll then set the draw controller top again, and then that is the first routable thing. So it will try and put it into the draw controller. If it can't, it will then drop down to start storing in these chests. Pretty good, and happy with that solution. Hope you are as well. Feel free to do that. You have everything you need now to store things there. There is a slight issue in that it doesn't really let you store in there and then in here, because I may want to do that rather than fill the storage drawer system, but yeah, it's good. And this is where the pack enables troll mode. Troll mode is when you actually go to a rock crusher and realize that the machine chassis in the middle needs plutonium. Plutonium comes from extreme reactors, which you really don't want to get into right now, but you can do it by another method. You can make it via a fluid transposer from cyanide. So cyanide, we can get, where are you? Cyanide ingot I'm looking for. There it is. Okay, we can use a fluid transposer and fill it with formic acid from Erebus. Okay, that makes a plutonium. And cyanide you can just convert from sand easily enough from yellowite, which comes from sifting. So that's fine. So Erebus it is. Offering altar. Okay, altar. And we can make one of those. We don't need more than one, I don't think. And then we need to put this down somewhere. Yes, contacting the gods. We're going to need to get some bits and pieces. We need a couple of gems called, I think they're called Gaian gems. Gaia. Yeah, Gaian gem. No recipe for them. And we also need a staff of Gaia, which is going to need us to get the vines I was talking about before. So that's fine. So just some sticks and some Gaian gems. So the two Gaian gems, I think it's like a diamond, an emerald, and obsidian I want to guess at. Is it that? I've got some notes somewhere. Emerald, diamond, piece of obsidian. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and hopefully they should combine to make me a Gaian gem. You see them combining. Well, they're doing something anyway. We'll come back to them in a minute. Make 2 of those, make 2 staffs, because you need some way to get back. You can also get the overworld apples to get back, but hey, there is a portal on the other side, so you may as well actually use it. And that should be fine. From that, then, I want to make sure I get that jungle sapling, so can I get my market back out? It's not in there. Have I put it in my backpack? Put it somewhere. Find it in a second. I'll get the jungle saplings out, and we end up with yet another bonsai pot, which is perfectly fine. I quite like them. I thought jungle saplings would give me vines straight off, or I could grow them. Didn't give me anything whatsoever, so I came back to the Twilight Forest looking for a swampy area. I found one before, so I'll go over there and see if there's any vines. Yeah, I didn't demonstrate how you use the slime sling. You can just throw yourself backwards with it, basically like this. Okay, and it does work. And you have obviously your boots to do that, so that's fine. And that's another hollow hill. That's a large hollow hill. Or you can, however, throw yourself up a lot more and then just switch to your hang glider and then just glide around. A lot easier to do that, and you go a lot further anyway. As long as you start off from a relatively high point, you can get that done pretty well. So yeah, there is my swampy area, and hopefully there'll be some vines around here somewhere. Oh, that looks like some vines. It is a restricted area, by the way, so if you get too close to the main swamp itself, you'll get like a black particle effect. But what I'm concerned about is only really getting these. And we've also got some lily pads. Oh, that's a huge lily pad. I'll break them anyway. And we can just hopefully get those without losing them? Question mark? See if I can break them. And there's my overworld cake from last time I came. This is where I had a mine to go and try and find some other stuff near the swamp. Didn't need it as it actually turned out. And once you use the correct tool, that being shears, you can get vines easily enough. And then we can take our Gaian gems, which came out of that altar, to get ourselves 2 staffs of Gaius. Oops, I need another stick. There we go. And that should be done. So another stick, another staff of Gaius. Good. I think we also need a Gaian keystone as well. So keystone, how do we make that? It's basically where you stick the staff into. We need Naga steel. Okay, fun. Okay. And thorium. Okay, thorium we've already found as an ore in the Lost Cities. I did find that, so that's not a problem. Block of dense crystal is Lordcraft. Troll mode engaged, which I have some simple crystals, so that's not actually too hard, but it's research Earth. We need to get into Lordcraft. You know, we should probably fight the Naga. That seems appropriate, unless we can get some Naga scale stuff and then break them down. But yeah, so Naga then. Okay, one Naga's courtyard, and we'll see how easy or hard this is to take down with our extreme shuriken, etc. So we've got some wolves around here. We don't want to cause any problems for the wolves, but we do want to cause problems for the Naga whenever we find it. Obviously, hopefully this ranged weapon does well. Well, it's taking some damage off it, so yeah, I want to just keep on doing this, and hopefully it won't be too hard to take down. I would prefer, obviously, with a lot of other stuff that we could make here, onto the what's it called? Shuriken. Would make this a lot easier, but for the moment, it's going down. Just, well, not too bad. Yeah. There we go. So, down to 20%, then 10%, and my Beam of Death gets us to even the scales, so to speak. I should have some things up there that I can actually use. There we go. Some scales, hopefully. Naga scales, 10 of, and we get Twilight shader bag. Don't really want shaders at the moment. And our trophy, that actually is one of the quests. And I think it's down here somewhere. There is like a quest, or maybe it's in Lambda. Yeah, there we go. So yeah. You get 10 rack for that, and you carry on through the Twilight Forest. But no doubt there will be other things we need from the Twilight Forest. Ooh, and a yellow heart. I should actually make the heart upgrades. That seems to be a worthwhile thing to do. So let's head back to our home base. And I was hoping that would be quicker. Okay, fine. So, in fact, let's just take a look at the red heart containers. We can get like 10 red hearts because they come from our mob drops. We can use these in combination with other things. So relic apples, as you imagine, easy. I think it's going to be this, the anti-bone. I don't know how I actually get that just yet, so I don't think I can actually make them. It's a shame because I want to, but I want to get more health. But for the moment, all of those can go away. I just want for the Naga scales, thank you. And that should be that. So the keystone then is using those. It's using some regular vines, so that's perfectly fine. And that means we have to get into Lordcraft. So in Lordcraft, you're going to need to basically make some inscription tiles. They need some ironwood ingots, and they come from the Twilight Forest, or indeed ironwood essence, but we need to actually make various seeds, and that's into Botania, which we're not there yet. It may be a benefit to make nature essence, by the way. That's one of the other things. I'll probably make some nature seeds. It lets us get various plant-based stuff, but for the moment, we need to get another source of this ironwood, which we can make just by smelting up raw ironwood materials, and that we can get from live root. Now I think I already got some live root. You find it when you're actually mining in the Twilight Forest. I will change this ender pouch, by the way. This is a smelting ender pouch now, not my submission to the system. One, because I already have that via the storage tablet, so I don't need that anymore, at least not for the moment. Do remember to keep this charged, however. Every time you use it, it is going to use up some charge. So live root, yes, I've got 18 of it, which means I can get 36 ingots. That's good. I think you can also break down the armor that you get into the Twilight Forest as well. But for the moment, we're just going to get some of this, some of you, and then I hope it's unshaped. But 1, 2, 3, and raw live wood, and then we can just submit that into our smelting system without me moving and going around there. And they should pop back in any second into our system. There they are. There is our raw ironwood ingots, and maybe they've been doubled. That'd be nice. There's a stack of them. So then we just need some skystone block, and that is smelting skystone. Which, can we get that from the sky? Yeah, we can do an item transform with some lava. From a stone barrel, we can add the skystone dust to get the skystone. So I need to set that up with a stone barrel and a lava generator, i.e. a crucible. So we've already got a crucible somewhere, I imagine. Crucible. Yes, and we'll get a heat sand as well. That should be in here. Heat sand, shift and click a single item. Good. I can actually just submit that. So heat sand, crucible. I also want a cobblestone generator. Cobble, Stone generator. We'll, I guess, make one of the regular ones. They don't need to be terribly fast. A hopper. I love this storage scanner. I love it. The hoppers aren't in there. They're in my backpack. I can actually move them all around now. I don't actually need to have this as much as I did before. So we've got a hopper and a barrel. Barrel. Yeah, I only need one, maybe two. I will just get the rest. So that just means I just need a drawer or two, and we should be ready to set this up. I can set it up anywhere, but I'll go and put it somewhere, maybe up here or something like that. Yeah, up here seems to be fine. So again, as before, you're going to want to feed in lava into the back of a stone barrel. So wherever you put the stone barrel is fine. But you're going to be pulling out of the stone barrel into like a basic drawer. So there, put the stone barrel into the back. There, got the hopper, and then you want the stone barrel. I did have a stone barrel. Oh, I just moved them. Never mind. Okay, and then we just want to feed lava into that. So lava is going to be one further up. So how am I going to feed lava into it? Probably fluid ducts. I should have in my inventory somewhere. Fluid ducts. Fluid. Yes, hardened fluid ducts. Opaque, and I just want a servo. It's going to be in the main system. Yeah, it doesn't matter what size servo I actually use. And we'll get that set up. So one hardened fluid duct, and then on the back is going to be our crucible. And feeding into that is going to be, do I need anything feeding into here? I could compact it, but I won't. I'll just feed in another hopper and our cobblestone generator. Done. So that should feed everything in it needs. Okay, with the skystone blocks being made perfectly well, it's got an elevator here. Whoops, there we go. This all works perfectly fine, and it's making these blocks. I'm actually just going to make a bunch more of these. Whoops, and put them into the smeltery bag, and then there we go. So we have the ability to make inscription tiles now, and I'll just convert all of them over into the blank tiles. You then need to research in the Book of Knowledge from memory. It's about drawing stuff out. So needing inscription tiles, yes. The grips can be seen during JEI or using an arcane inscriber. You can see here there is these different tiles that we actually want, and these are the shapes you actually have to draw out as well. So yeah, we need to get into that. And in the research area, yep. So basics is completed. Fine. Is there a back button on this? Oh, there is. Top right. Wish people would be consistent. So these are the ones we want, the earth ones. And requires, what does it actually say it requires? Oh, is there any kind of back keyboard shortcut that would be kind of handy? It doesn't actually say what we need for this. Draw a T, okay? So T is over here somewhere. Maybe it's here, T. So we need 3 on the left and 1 on the bottom. So 3 on the left. I think we have to draw like the center line, okay? Does it say anywhere where it has to be right at the top or anything? It looks like right at the top, so fine. Can we draw it like this? Yep, so 1, 2, 3 maybe? And then 1 at the bottom. Is that a T? Doesn't look like that, does it? But it did work. You just have to click on this at the bottom, and then it asks you to draw the next one, etc. So yeah, you need to go through and work your way through until you get all of those. So again, we can just draw them to the nodes like this. Okay. E is the next one it asks us to make for this research. So there's E. So TER is the next one. So I'll just work my way off camera. And with the earth crystal now being researched, essentially, it's highlighted green here from simple crystal, we then need to move to the arcane workbench, which is again a third troll mode. So we have a few things in here. Mana infused isn't too bad because torchberries you can just pick up from the ground in the Twilight Forest. That's not a problem too much. But Carmenite and Steel Leaf, less so. Both coming from the Twilight Forest. Steel Leaf you can get from Steel Leaf Essence, which you need to make Steel Leaf Seeds, which is again Botania we can't do. So the other way of getting it is, or rather easily, or easier is by breaking down things in the Twilight Forest, breaking down basically drops from things you kill. So we may have to go through and get a few of those to be able to get that. So I'm going to leave that till the next episode. And then Carmenite, you can make it with Boar Essence, but Boar Essence is also Twilight Forest stuff anyway. So yeah, we may have to think about just progressing through the Twilight Forest to actually get much further. Okay, so maybe I'll make an episode of it, just progressing through that next episode. I could do with better armor, to be honest, to be able to do the Twilight Forest stuff. But hey, maybe you guys can make suggestions about what armor I should be making. We'll see about that as time goes on. So yeah, lots of stuff in the way of the Deep Dark portal. However, we have got the Lost Cities portal, which actually does a fairly good job of getting ores for us without having to go to the rather more dangerous Deep Dark. So that's good as well. So we're up to 4-dimensional portals now. 5, sorry, we're including the End. We should probably kill the End Dragon at some point as well. One other thing I wanted to just finish with, there's one thing for the Erebus, because that's what we're trying to still get to as well, is also the other mechanism flying around. I seem to remember there's a staff you can use to fly around a lot more easier than using the slime stuff. Yep, there's 2 in particular I'm thinking of. I've just found them. But this isn't just for the Twilight Forest, by the way. It's also for Erebus. Erebus is a pain to get around. It's sort of like Nether Generation, but it's more of an overworldish kind of feel if you haven't been to the Erebus before. But it is a pain to get around. You need some method of flying. The Slime Sling works fine for Twilight Forest, but because the Erebus is more like a Nether Generation, it has a ceiling, and that's very often restrictive. So one of the options is the Rending Gale, which I remember. Yeah, fly by pointing the direction it wants to go. It doesn't have feather fall, but you have the slime boots for that anyway. But you need feathers to actually fuel it, if I remember rightly. So I think that's how you actually do it. And Swiftwolf's Rending Gale is dark matter from Project E. We're not getting there, are we? So it doesn't give us any kind of recipe for that. So I think it is something in Reliquary. I'll have to have a look at how you actually craft it if you can. The other option is the Staff of Traveling. I've got one on charge, actually. You do get it from your mob farm, so there's nothing excessive there. And I'm not going to do this in... yeah, it's already charged. And yeah. Shift right click will teleport the player a short distance. I'm not going to do this in this world, obviously. It's a void, so let's just go into the Twilight Forest. And hello, Fluid Cow. I think that was like electrical steel or something. And let's see whether this works. You are going to want your slime boots, of course. Slime boots, there they are. Okay, and this may be an easier option than the other ones. Let's give this a go. So shift right click. Okay, so that works to get us into the air. But of course, you're probably still going to want your hang glider to get back around and have a look around all over the place. So we're going to get you really, really high. And then you've got your hang glider to get around. Pretty good. So I think I'll leave the episode there. It's a little bit shorter. Last episode was like 40 minutes long. It's far too long. I know some people actually want that, but not everyone does. So I try to leave them around half an hour. And yeah, so we have this. It's not quite as fast as using the slime sling, because the slime sling gets you up to really, really high speeds. But you can use it to get on top of trees and then use the slime sling outward to actually go even faster there. So yeah, the only slight problem is, of course, it's a little bit power intensive. You can see right there, it's used maybe 15% of what it currently contains. So it's high, what it contains. So yeah, there is that. However, yes, we need to get to the Erebus, and that's going to be me progressing through the Twilight Forest. So I'll do a very quick summary next episode. If you have seen Twilight Forest before, you can skip a little bit through that episode because you've already seen a few of the things that you can do there. So yeah, pretty happy. If you enjoyed the episode, give me a like down below, much appreciated. Otherwise, feel free to not do that if you didn't like the episode. Otherwise, you can leave comments if you've got questions or suggestions, of course, for other things that we could be doing to improve our setups in the meantime. And well, I'll see you in the next episode. As always, guys, thanks for watching.